I'll never forget the smug grin on my daughter-in-law's face when she said, "Some people are just born lucky, others, well, they just survive." Her words weren't random, they were aimed at me. To her, I was the poor parent-in-law who didn't dress in designer clothes or post lavish vacations online. That day, she boasted about her luxury cars, her imported furniture, and her high-class friends, all while belittling my simple life. What she didn't know was that everything she flaunted was nothing compared to what I had quietly built over decades. And when the truth finally came out, her proud little world shattered right in front of her. What would you do if your own family treated you like that? My name is Evelyn. I lost my husband years ago but managed to live comfortably on the wealth we both worked hard for. I have one son, Daniel, kind, ambitious, and always trying to see the good in people. When he married a woman named Vanessa, I was hopeful. She was beautiful, educated, confident, the kind of woman any mother would be proud of. But from the very first day she stepped into our family, I felt something off. She called me Evelyn instead of Mom, even after I gently asked her not to. She'd make comments like, "Oh, Daniel, let's get you a better suit, that old one screams middle class," right in front of me. At first, I ignored it. Maybe she was nervous or insecure. But it didn't stop, in fact, it only got worse. Vanessa constantly flaunted her money, her new car, her investments, her connections. And each time, she'd find subtle ways to remind me how small my world supposedly was. One evening, Daniel invited me to dinner at their home. Vanessa greeted me with a bright smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Oh, Evelyn. You made it. I hope the drive wasn't too hard for your little old car," she said, glancing outside with a smirk. I froze for a moment. The little old car happened to be a limited edition model, but I didn't feel the need to correct her. Dinner was even worse. She spent the entire evening bragging about their kitchen renovation, about how Daniel's career only took off because of her contacts, and about how she planned to buy a beach house once their investments mature. Daniel looked uncomfortable, but he didn't say anything. And when she leaned in and whispered, "You should move somewhere smaller, Evelyn, big houses are for people who can afford them," I realized her arrogance wasn't just insecurity. It was pure contempt. That night, I drove home in silence, gripping the steering wheel, feeling small, but determined. I decided not to argue, not to fight. People like Vanessa only learn through silence and karma. For years, I'd managed my finances quietly. I never bragged about what I owned because I never needed validation. What Vanessa didn't know was that I was one of the main investors in the company where Daniel worked. She also didn't know that the property she kept talking about buying was partially under my ownership through a trust. I had learned early in life that wealth means nothing if it doesn't bring humility. So, I waited. I kept attending family dinners, birthdays, and holidays, smiling through her constant jabs and showing no sign of irritation. Deep down, I knew the day of reckoning would come. And when it did, I'd let karma do the talking. Months later, Daniel called me sounding worried. "Mom. Vanessa's been a bit stressed lately. Some of her investments didn't go as planned." I didn't ask questions, but I knew what that meant. Her perfect image was cracking. A few weeks later, we all ended up at a family event, a charity gala hosted by the company I quietly co-owned. Vanessa walked in wearing an expensive gown, chin high, pretending nothing was wrong. When the host took the stage to thank the event's key sponsors, my name was announced first. Special gratitude to Mrs. Evelyn Carter, one of our principal investors and board members. You could have heard a pin drop. Vanessa's smile froze. Daniel turned toward me, eyes wide in shock. I just smiled softly and said, "Oh, I didn't think it was important to mention." After the event, people swarmed me with respect and admiration. Vanessa, however, could barely look me in the eye. For the first time, her pride couldn't save her. A few days later, Vanessa came over. Her tone was unusually quiet. "Evelyn. I had no idea you were involved in the company," she said. I smiled gently. "Yes, dear. Daniel's career didn't take off because of you. It grew because I believed in him and invested in the company long before you met. Her face turned pale. I continued, "You've built your life around showing off what you have, Vanessa. But real wealth doesn't need an audience." Tears welled up in her eyes, and for a brief moment, I saw regret. She whispered, "I just wanted people to see we made it, that I wasn't nobody." That's when I realized her arrogance came from emptiness, not strength. Still, I didn't rub it in. I simply stood up and said, "I hope one day you'll understand that peace and respect are worth more than any mansion." When she left, Daniel stayed behind. He hugged me tightly and said, "Mom. I didn't know. I'm so sorry." I told him, "You don't have to be sorry, son. Life teaches us in unexpected ways." In the months that followed, Vanessa changed. She stopped bragging, started working, and even volunteered at the same charity she once dismissed. Daniel later told me, "She's realized what really matters now." Maybe she did. Or maybe life just humbled her in ways money never could. Either way, I found peace knowing I didn't have to shout my worth. Sometimes, quiet dignity speaks louder than any insult. I still drive my little old car, still live in the same home, and I'm still one of the wealthiest women she'll ever know. Not because of money, but because I never let pride destroy my grace. Can you believe how life turns tables when you least expect it? Some people chase wealth to prove something to others. But real success, real revenge, is staying kind, patient, and letting the truth reveal itself at the perfect time. Vanessa taught me that arrogance fades faster than respect. And now, every time she visits, she brings flowers instead of judgment. Life has a beautiful way of humbling those who look down on others. And when that moment comes, silence becomes the sweetest revenge. What about you? Have you ever had someone underestimate your worth?